Express. My name is Miss Rebecca with the Shaler North Hills Library. That's Miss Ingrid behind the iPad.
Hello!
My friends, it is Friday, January 28th. Yesterday was Thursday. Tomorrow is Saturday. It's snowing.
Dude, I can't believe it snowed again.
I'm a little over it.
Did you know that was coming?
Not this much, no. It said there would be like flurries and whatnot, but I just didn't.
It took me by surprise.
I was unhappy though, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I wasn't very pleased.
Yeah, I feel like could we space this out a little bit?
Yeah, but those gentlemen in our apartment complex, amazing.
Well, I didn't have any trouble with roads coming in today.
Okay.
9:10 is usually like,
Interesting.
9:10's here.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody forgot perhaps.
Right.
And it was all smooth sailing, so that was very nice.
Miss Jill was coming to work, and a guy was in such a hurry, and the roads were pretty bad, and the guy was in such a hurry, he passed 3 cars, and then was blowing the horn at everybody, telling them to get out of the way. And that's how my dad lost his license.
Well, perhaps
he passed 3 cars on Mount Royal Boulevard during the snow.
Perhaps they should have set their alarm early.
I know.
Just come to the realization that you just shouldn't do that.
And Jill pointed out something good. If you're having an emergency, put on your flashers so at least like people know like something. Like I don't know. Like say you're like delivering a baby. Like I think about my friend Parker who was born in the Liberty Tunnel. You know what I mean? Like if you're really trying to get there.
Yeah.
You know, put on your flashers. Do something, you know?
That's true.
I don't know.
Well, my friends, we're going to jump right into our stories
All right.
today. But let me mention, too, we will be getting back together live and in person here at the Shaler North Hills Library next Friday, February 4th, for Storytime Express, 10:15. For all of our programs, we'll be meeting in person again next week.
Except for Monday.
Yep, starting Tuesday with Book Babies at 10:15 and 11:15, and then Phonics Awareness.
Yes, Phonics Fun.
Phonics Fun.
Does that make it sound more fun?
I was just thinking Phonics Awareness. I think I just made that up, or something needs to happen with that title.
Yeah,
and then Science on Thursday at 10:15 and Storytime Express. Monday, we will not be opening until noon because there's a plumbing situation and we will have no water.
Yep.
So we will not be having Aunt Stu Zucchini in person on Monday. But the following Monday we will.
Yeah, and Saturday story time is not this week, but it is next Saturday. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Miss Jill thought it was tomorrow and she was relieved sort of to know that it's not. Okay. I mean, she misses it, but she was like, oh, that's cool. Because she wasn't quite prepared.
Well, my friends, let's get into our stories. We
All
have
right.
a slight little bit of a theme today because it was what I was in the mood for. I was in the mood for something a little bit different, and I decided to go animal-centric because I think animals are interesting. So we have a few different animals that we're going to have books about today. Snakes, slugs, puffins, and flamingos. I wanted a wide variety. And as you can see, I think I accomplished that.
You totally have. I love those Elise Gravel books.
I do too.
I love them.
My friends.
And I don't know this.
Our first story is, sometimes I want to say book instead of story. I don't like snakes. Or, since don't's crossed out, I like snakes. By Nicola Davies. Anything Nicola Davies does, it's amazing. And it's illustrated by Luciano Lozano. Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Who was that guy that, like, we had that meeting with that one time?
I have no idea.
Oh, I can't remember.
I remember the guy, but
Yeah,
I don't remember
yeah.
his name.
That Luciano Lozano reminded me of his name, but
That was not his name, though.
it wasn't. Yeah.
Some families have dogs or cats or birds, but my family has snakes. They love them. So when I said, I really, really, really don't like snakes, they all said, why? Because, I said, they slither. Snakes have to slither, said my mom. They don't have legs, so they bend like an S and use their ribs and their scales to grip. It's the only way they can move. And now over here, it tells you there are different ways of slithering. Some concertina slithering. That's this movement.
Like an accordion. That's why it's called that.
Cool. Some are serpentine slithering.
Neat.
Like that. And others are caterpillar crawling.
Wait, so I'm sorry for interrupting your story, but this is fascinating. But do each snakes do all three of those at different times, or are there certain snakes that only move one way?
That I don't know. I would imagine certain snakes move different ways. Maybe it's dependent upon where they live.
Okay. Yeah.
And just by looking at that, they don't specify snakes.
Yeah.
Good question, though. And look what snakes can do, said Dad. They can sidewind over sand, twine through trees, swim, climb, even fly. Okay, I said. That's pretty smart. Here's sidewinding. Here's flying. We'll get into detail about that. A few forest-dwelling snakes can flatten their bodies and glide like a floating ribbon from one tree to the next.
Like a flying squirrel.
Here's twining. Snakes can twine around branches or stretch their bodies across big gaps to move through trees. And some snakes can swim. And this snake can climb.
That's pretty cool.
They are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Ooh, but what about their slimy, scaly skin? It's icky. Snakes aren't slimy, said Mom. If you touch a snake's skin, it's dry. It looks wet because snakes have a shiny, see-through outer skin. When that's worn out or outgrown, like your old clothes that get too scruffy or too small, the snake just sheds it, and there's new skin underneath. There's a snake shedding, and then boom, new skin underneath. And as far as being scaly, said Dad, their scales are like armor. They also make mosaic patterns, so a snake can stand out like a warning or almost disappear. Okay, I said, that's pretty cool. Here's different kinds. Here's a gaboon viper pattern. Here's a corn snake pattern. What's this? A coral snake. A coral snake's stripes are a warning to any animal that might eat it that this snake can bite back. The color and pattern of a gaboon viper scales help it blend into its surroundings. This is called camouflage, and it allows snakes to hide from animals they want to eat and from ones that might want to eat them. But I still don't like their flicky tongues. Snakes smell with their tongues, said Mom. They flick them out to collect smells. All snakes are hunters, and smelling is how they find their prey. Okay, I said, that is interesting. A snake's forked tongue carries the scent trails into the twin slits of the Jacobson's organ. Snakes also pick up airborne scents with their nostrils. That's kind of neat.
That is neat.
But I still don't like the way they stare. It's creepy. They stare, said Dad, because they can't blink. Snakes don't have eyelids, but looking at their eyes can tell you how they do their hunting. Nighttime hunters tend to have slit-shaped pupils. Horizontal slits help snakes that chase prey, like the vine snake, while vertical slits are better for ambush hunters, like the children's python. Daytime hunters that chase prey, like the fast-moving boomslang, have rounded pupils. The pupils of other daytime hunters, like the slug-eating snake, can shrink to a pinprick to protect the sensitive eyes from bright daylight. Some snakes, like the pit viper, hunt when it's too dark for even the best eyes to see. They have heat-sensitive pits below their eyes so they can feel their prey's body heat. Okay, I said. Maybe now that I know something about them, I do like snakes. Just a little bit. You do? Said my brother. Well, in that case, I'll tell you something that'll really scare you. How they kill things. Some snakes use poison. They have fangs that are hollow, like a doctor's needle that inject venom. They strike like lightning, killing with just one bite. Their dinner dies in moments.
We didn't have to get real close with that one.
Other snakes are stranglers. They use their bodies like a rope to tie prey up and squeeze the life out of it. But however snakes kill their prey, there's only one way they can eat it. They don't have claws to rip food to pieces, or the right kind of teeth for chewing, so they have to swallow meals whole. So, my brother said, what do you think of that? I think that's great, I said. What's more, I have something to tell you. It's something I found out myself, and that's how snakes have their babies. Some snakes give birth to live babies, but most lay eggs with leathery shells that can take months and months to hatch. A few snake mothers wrap their bodies around their eggs to guard them, but most just leave them hidden somewhere safe. As long as the eggs are warm and moist, the baby snakes inside will grow. When they're ready, they wriggle out of their eggs, and then they're off into the world. Slithering, tongues flicking, unblinking, scaly and shiny and snaky. Beautiful! And do you know what? I said. I really, really, really like them.
Dude, that's nice. I learned so much about snakes.
Yeah, they're interesting.
Yeah.
Now, do you want to read about slugs?
Yeah.
I like this one.
At first, I thought the snake was saying 40. And I was like, is it calling bingo? The slug, I mean.
Oh,
It's 40.
Yo.
It's 40.
It's yo.
Yeah.
My Friends, The Slug by Elise Gravel.
I think
I always
so.
want to say Gravel.
Gravel. It probably is Gravel.
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 No way to know.
No way to know.
The Slug by Elise Gravel. Yo, says the slug. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce the slug. Hello. The slug is a mollusk like the snail, but it doesn't have a shell. You're naked. There are many species of slugs. Sea slugs, freshwater slugs, land slugs. Land slugs are the ones we'll talk about in this book. The slug has 2 pairs of tentacles on its head. The upper ones are eyes, and the lower ones are for smelling and tasting. I see you. You're a kid and you smell like broccoli. Its tentacles are retractable, which means that the slug can pull them inside its head when it senses danger. That's pretty neat. It's not easy if you wear glasses, though.
No, that's true.
The slug breathes through a hole on the side of its body. That's interesting. Everyone's impressed when I do that. Friends, do you think a slug can chew gum? No, that's silly.
Oh, is that what it's doing, or is that its thing on the side of its body?
Well, I think the package of gum insinuates.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, what? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
The slug moves by contracting the muscles on its belly. Its belly is called a foot. How do you like my new dress? The slug's whole body is covered in mucus, a thick and slimy liquid, kind of like snot. It has to stay in humid areas such as under stones or flower pots so it doesn't dry out. What a gorgeous day. I know myself sometimes I feel bad when I'm walking in the neighborhood or walking the dog. Sometimes you see like a slug or a worm that just didn't make it across the sidewalk fast enough. Or maybe it just bounces back if it gets rained on or something. Sorry.
Oh, that's all right.
The mucus is very important because it helps the slug move by creating a slick surface. It also acts like glue to help the slug climb up things like trees and walls. And the slug says to the baby, "What a huge slug!" Because you know those babies, they can be leaky. When it senses danger, the slug produces extra mucus so it becomes more slippery and can more easily escape its predators. To find a partner and have babies, the slug follows another slug's mucus trail. "Wait for me, my love." Just like the earthworm, the slug is male and female at the same time. The slug lays its eggs in a hole in the ground or under a rock or a piece of rotten wood. Baby slugs, tiny and transparent, will hatch in a few weeks. Congratulations! It's a boy girl! The slug eats plants and mushrooms. Farmers and gardeners don't like slugs because they eat their lettuce. But slugs play an important role in the environment. They help to break down old or decaying plant and animal matter and turn it back into important nutrients for the soil. Abracadabra! Nature's trash, transform! So, next time you meet a slug, be nice. Share some of your salad with it. Delicious. Do you have any bubble gum for dessert? I didn't like that part. The end.
Nice. That's cool.
I think I like the lice one better.
The lice one's good.
The lice one's really
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
My friends,
yeah.
if you ever want to read a book about lice, Elise Gravel has one. It's really good. Okay, my friends, let's move on to a different animal. An animal with legs.
Okay.
Oh, I just realized we have two non-legged animals.
Oh, yeah. Oh, is this by that woman? Is this the autobiography? It's by that woman who wants to become a flamingo? Her name's Jennifer or something?
I don't even know what you're talking about, even a little bit.
I thought this was autobiography.
No.
What's the name of that one?
I Wish I Was a Flamingo by Jennifer Beauvais.
Yeah, it's about that woman who really wanted to be a flamingo. And so she wrote the book, I Wish I Was a Flamingo.
That's not true.
I thought I
More
read
of an
about it.
existential question.
Okay.
What if you wished you were a flamingo? Then you become a flamingo. Could you eat like a flamingo? Talk like a flamingo? Grow up in a flamingo family? And would you want to? Let's find out, shall we?
Still a gorilla.
Where would you live? Flamingos are pink birds. They have long, skinny legs. Flamingos live in shallow lakes called lagoons. American flamingos live in parts of Florida as well as Central and South America and in the Caribbean. Flamingos walk around lagoons on their long legs. They are almost always in the water. Flamingos eat in the water. They talk to friends in the water. They even lay their eggs in nests surrounded by water. These mud piles are flamingo nests. There is one egg in each nest and one flamingo chick in each egg. After hatching from its egg, a chick stays in the nest for a few days. A flamingo mother and father care for their chick. They take turns feeding it. The parents feed the chick a liquid they make inside their throats. The red liquid is called crop milk. They spit it into the chick's bill. The chick leaves its muddy nest after about a week.
Oh.
The chick stretches its little legs and starts exploring the lagoon. Isn't it the cutest little thing?
It's so cute.
After a few more weeks, all the flamingo chicks in the lagoon gather in a big group. This group is called a crush. The chicks in a creche practice finding food without their parents' help. Isn't it just the cutest thing?
Oh, dude, they're so cute.
They're really cute. Flamingo chicks practice finding food like grown-ups in their creche. The chicks learn to stir up mud on the bottom of the lagoon with their feet. There's food in the mud. When a flamingo stirs up mud, it also stirs up food to eat. Flamingo feathers turn pink because of a pink substance in the plants and shrimp they eat. That's interesting.
What was that one question that does your food make you change colors?
No. Flamingos are noisy birds. They talk with honking, grunting, and growling sounds. Flamingos know each other's voices. A flamingo chick can hear its parents calling to it, even in a crowded creche. Animals are fascinating, my friends. When a flamingo feels sleepy, it tucks its head under its wing. Usually, the bird sleeps standing up. Sometimes the flamingo sleeps while standing on just one leg. That's some core strength.
That flamingo does not have Meniere's disease.
As a flamingo chick grows up, its bill gets much bigger. Its neck and legs grow longer. The chick's gray feathers turn pink as it eats more and more food. Being a flamingo could be cool, but do you want to play in the mud? Live with lots of other flamingos? Stand on one leg while you sleep? Luckily, you don't have to. You're not a flamingo. You're you. The end.
I do want to say, I do think we should add this. If any of you out there are flamingos, that last page doesn't apply to you. Well, it doesn't. Because
None of you are flamingos.
They might be. We have a broad audience.
They're not.
I was talking. A flamingo came up to me in Giant Eagle.
That's not even true.
Okay. And said,
we are not spreading.
Said, I'm not coming back until. Okay. Spreading misinformation.
Ingrid.
Sorry. Here's a true fact. January, 31 days.
We're moving on to our final animal,
June
my friend.
30.
This book is by Helen Frost, with a consulting editor, Gail Saunders Smith, Ph.D.
That's Jack's wife. The author.
The title is
Jack Frost?
Puffins from the Polar Animal series.
Yeah, he's polar?
You're in quite the mood today.
Sorry.
This is our polar animals. Well, I'll tell you, when I decided to have an animal palooza today for Storytime Express, I thought, should I do all cold?
Yeah.
It's cold and it's snowy.
Yeah.
Then I thought, no.
Spread it around.
No.
I will not bow down to the cold.
Puffins.
Puffins
Puffins.
by Jack Frost's wife.
It's not true.
By Helen Lester's sister.
Puffins. We have our table of contents. My friends, what are puffins? Puffins are black and white seabirds. Puffins have large, colorful beaks. Where puffins live? Puffins live in cold northern areas. They spend most of their lives alone on the ocean. These are the cold northern areas puffins live in. Wasn't there a spy puffin?
Yeah, I think there was, dude.
In summer, puffins nest in large colonies. They gather on sea cliffs. Body parts. Puffins have short wings. They use their wings to fly and swim. Puffins have orange legs and webbed feet. They use their feet to steer in the water. They're very sophisticated looking. Puffins have short feathers. The feathers trap air to help puffins float. What puffins do? Puffins dive and swim underwater. They push air They push air out of their feathers when they dive. Puffins eat small fish. They catch fish with their sharp beaks. Puffins can carry many fish in their beaks. They bring the fish back to their young. The end.
That was cool. I like that.
I wonder if there's any sort of, relation between puffins and one of the penguin types.
I wondered
There's
about
so
that
many
too.
kinds of penguins, and puffins aren't a penguin, but are they?
But they don't even live in the same area. That's what kind of freaked me out. Like, I always thought penguins and puffins were, like, sort of, like, kind of related or whatever. But then I didn't know puffins didn't live in the South.
But I don't think, do all penguins live in the South?
Isn't that true?
I don't
Like, are there no penguins on the North? It's like, there's something like that. Or maybe it's polar bears.
But maybe, I don't know.
There's no way to know.
Ingrid, are you Googling about penguins?
I'm Googling about penguins.
There's so many different kinds of penguins.
Let me see. Are there any penguins at the North Pole?
But not even the North Pole. What about just like up north?
There are no penguins in the North Pole.
So penguins are
They
only in the southern hemisphere?
Oh, wait. Another myth is that, penguins can only live in the southern hemisphere.
Interesting.
Isn't that wild? Wait, are there any puffins in the South?
No,
Do
we saw in the
puffins live?
book.
Oh, that's right. They don't. That's just ridiculous.
Maybe a penguin millions of years ago
Wow,
was like, I need to see what's up north.
Dude. Maybe. Yep.
These are not facts.
Yeah, maybe the penguin was just like, you know what?
The
puffin was like, I feel like I can work in the South Hills, in the South Hills if I want. Maybe they just work there.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to ask Jack's wife. Sorry.
My friends, thank you very much for spending your precious moments with us. And we'll see you live and in person next Friday.
And happy birthday to your husband.
Which is next Tuesday.
Yeah, but this is the weekend celebration.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
Low key.
very low key.
Okay.
Yeah, so goodbye, friends.
Bye, Miss Rebecca. That's a nice sweater, by the way.